we have seen the parts of a stomach, right? And the curvatures, greater and lesser curvatures. We have also talked about, so this is cardia, this is fundus, dome-shaped part, this is body, pyloric antrum, pyloric canal, right? Then duodenum. We have talked about different parts of the stomach. We have also seen the rugae inside the stomach. There are folds, mucosal folds. Those are called rugae or gastric rugae, right? We have talked about it. Now, if you see the wall of the stomach, you have 4 layers like other parts of your GI tract, and those layers are what? Mucosa, submucosa, musculus externa, and serosa, right? In innermost layer, in mucosa, if you see, you have structures like this. Okay, so this is the inner surface of the stomach, and you have structures like this, and this is called, you see the structures like this, and that opening is called gastric pit. So gastric pit is this area. So, gastric pit is the opening, and here you have different types of cells. Different types of cells. So, we'll see what are those cells, but just know that this part is called the gastric gland, like below the pit here. This part is called gastric gland. Okay. So gastric gland is this part. Gastric pit is this top part. Okay. So this is gland, this is pit. Okay. We have different types of cells here. We'll see what are these cells, okay, in gastric gland. So you see here, this part is the gastric gland part, and that top part is the pit. And in gastric gland part, you see different types of cells shown by different colors here. Okay. So we'll see what are those cells and what kind of secretion occurs from those cells. Okay. See where is the in gastric gland, you have mucous neck cells, one type of cell, and they secrete thin acidic mucus. So mucus is secreted by the mucous neck cells. The name of the cell is mucus cell. So secrete mucus, but that mucus is acidic mucus. Then parietal cells, another type of cells, chief cells, and enteroendocrine cells. So those are different types of cells in the gastric gland. Again, you see here, this is the gastric gland part, right? And that's the pit part, gastric pit. And you see different types of cells. Mucous neck cells are around the area where the gastric pit ends and gastric gland begins. So parietal cells here shown by this blue, and chief cells are in the bottom part here. Okay? And the green cells are enteroendocrine cells. The chief cells secrete a chemical that is called pepsinogen. Important chemical, but it is an inactive chemical. Pepsinogen is an inactive chemical secreted by chief cells. Then parietal cells secrete hydrochloric acid, HCl, and that hydrochloric acid converts the inactive pepsinogen to active pepsin. So you see here in this picture, hydrochloric acid works on the pepsinogen and converts it to active pepsin. Then what happens? The active pepsin also works on inactive pepsinogen to convert more inactive pepsinogen to active pepsin, right? So that's how we get pepsin. Gastritis. Gastritis is the inflammation caused by anything that breaches the mucosal barrier. So if the mucosal barrier, in last lecture I mentioned, right, mucosa separates the gastric content and the wall, right? So gastric content is acidic, you know, right? So inside the stomach, the content is what? Acidic. So the mucus layer separates it from the wall. Okay, so keep the wall protected. Is it clear? So the acid will not touch the wall. But if for any reason that mucosal barrier is breached or teared, then what will happen or destroyed? That will cause inflammation in the wall of the stomach, and that is gastritis. Itis is the inflammation. Ulcer is more advanced stage, right? If inflammation continues, right, the wall will get injured. So that stage, it can also bleed. Make sense? Blood can come out. So that is gastric ulcer. I mentioned in last class a bacteria that can reside in the stomach for many years, okay, and can destroy the mucosal barrier. And this bacteria is one of the main cause of what? Gastritis and ulcer, peptic ulcer or gastric ulcer. So that bacteria is called Helicobacter pylori. This bacteria is very resistant against antibiotics. So strong, you need combination of a strong antibiotic to kill them. Okay, it's not easy to destroy them. Regulation of gastric secretion. Now, this is the stomach. Okay. There are three phases of regulation of gastric secretion. Gastric means stomach, right? So gastric secretion means secretion in the stomach. Is it clear? Okay. So we know that secretion occurs in the stomach. So there are three phases of gastric secretion. Remember, we are talking about the secretion in the stomach. So now, first, you all know, I mentioned in last class, if you are hungry and you see the food, secretion will occur in the stomach, right? Make sense? So food is not yet in the stomach. You are just looking at the food or smelling the food, right? Secretion in the stomach will occur. Or even if you have food in the mouth, not yet in the stomach, right? Secretion occurs in the stomach. Is it clear? So that is called cephalic. Because cephalic means what? Head, right? The picture is in your head, or taste from the tongue is in your head, right? That is taste signal. Or you see the picture, that is in your head, right? The smell goes to your head. So when the things are happening in the head, secretion is occurring where? The stomach. Make sense? So that's why it is called cephalic phase of secretion. Okay? Cephalic. Food is not yet in the stomach, but secretion occurs in the stomach. Then gastric phase starts after the food arrives in the stomach. Okay, so that's why it is called gastric, because food is now inside the stomach, and that will initiate the secretion. Presence of food in the stomach, okay, presence of food in the stomach, that causes the secretion. Okay, that's why it is called gastric. Makes sense. And now the last one is called intestinal phase. What happens from the stomach? We know that food is digested in the stomach, right? Breakdown of food occurs in the stomach. So the food is converted to smaller particles and enters into the intestine. First part of intestine is duodenum. So this is the intestine, enters into the intestine. Now, the intestine has the receptors. They can detect two things: what kind of food is this, and also the status of the nutrients. Is the digestion good enough, or still we need more digestion? Make sense? So intestine can detect when the food enters into the intestine. Intestine checks it, the quality. Is digestion was good or more digestion is needed? Make sense? Okay. So intestine will check it, and if intestine thinks that more digestion, stomach didn't perform good job, stomach should have done better job. Okay. So from the intestinal wall, signal will go to the stomach and to more secretion, tell the stomach to secrete more. Make sense? So that is the intestinal phase of what? Gastric secretion. Will tell the stomach to secrete more. Okay? So now the question is, who takes the signal from here to here? There is a hormone. That hormone takes the signal from the intestine. That intestine secretes the hormone. Blood takes it to here. Okay? So by the blood, signal goes to the stomach wall and tells the stomach to secrete more. So that is the intestinal phase. Okay? So those are three phases of gastric secretion. Intestine. Next to the stomach is a long tube that is called the intestine, and it has two parts: small intestine and large intestine. So intestine has how many parts? Two: small intestine and large intestine. Small intestine has three parts. First short part is called the duodenum, just after the stomach, right? Next part, first part of a small intestine is duodenum. It is a C-shaped structure like this. C. Short, first part of the small intestine. Okay? And duodenum is retroperitoneal. That means outside of the peritoneal cavity. Intraperitoneal means inside the peritoneal cavity. I mentioned that before, right? Retroperitoneal, there are few structures like kidneys, duodenum, part of pancreas. Those are outside of the peritoneal cavity. So duodenum is one of them. Then jejunum and ileum. So those are intraperitoneal parts. Jejunum and ileum. Okay. Now, in the first part of the small intestine, that means in the duodenum, you will see two openings. One is smaller, one is bigger here. Okay, two openings in the wall of the duodenum. One is called minor duodenal papilla, another is called major duodenal papilla. The smaller one is minor and larger one is major. So you see here, major and minor duodenal papilla. Two openings. Here in this picture you can see the minor, the tiny one here, and the major is the bigger one. This is the duodenum, C shape, right? Why you have those two openings? You see, this is the pancreas, and this duct is called accessory pancreatic duct. This is the main one, and from the main one, a branch arises and enter into the duodenum, and that is the accessory pancreatic duct. So the opening minor duodenal papilla is for accessory pancreatic duct. Now let's see the major duodenal papilla, the bigger one. Why you have the large opening, larger one here? You see, from the liver and gallbladder, a duct, which is called the bile duct, comes down, the green color bile duct comes just outside of the duodenum here, and this is the main pancreatic duct from the pancreas, just outside of the duodenum. These two ducts, the bile duct and the main pancreatic duct, join together just outside of the duodenum. They meet together, and where they meet, that area is slightly expanded, and that expanded part is called the hepatopancreatic ampulla. Remember, ampulla is expanded tube. If when you heard the tube is expanded, that can be termed as an ampulla. Make sense? So since two tubes, bile duct and main pancreatic duct are joining there, that area is what? Wider. Make sense? Wider. So just before that, it enters into the duodenum. That's the hepatopancreatic. Hepato means liver, pancreatic, pancreas, duct. Ampulla, this part. And then the opening is major duodenal papilla. So bile and pancreatic juice, make sense? From pancreas, pancreatic juice, and from the liver and gallbladder, bile, right? Both enter into the duodenum. Is it clear? And why both should enter into the duodenum? Why you need bile? To digest the fat. Bile is used for fat metabolism and digestion. Is it clear? For fat. And pancreatic juice, very important. Pancreatic juice contains what? Digestive enzymes. All kinds of digestive enzymes are present in the pancreatic juice. Amylase, lipase, protease. Pancreatic juice contains what? Digestive enzymes. Which ones? All. Protease, amylase, lipase. For protein digestion, Fat digestion likewise, right? And amylase for starch or carbohydrate. Make sense? So pancreatic juice is very important, now you understand, right? So all those should enter into the duodenum, right? So that helps in further digestion. We know that digestion occurs in the stomach, right? But digestion continues in the small intestine. So in the very first part of the small intestine, those enzymes, right, and bile are entering into the duodenum to digest further. Is it clear? Okay. Okay. Now, if we see the pancreas, you see pancreas has a head part, body part, and what? Tail. Okay? So it has a head, body, tail. Make sense? Now see the head part of pancreas very nicely fits into the curve of small intestine. Small intestine is C-shaped, right? Remember? So this is the pancreas, head of pancreas, very nicely fits there. So that is one thing. The head of pancreas fits in the curve of the duodenum. Now let's see how the bile travels. Okay, how the bile travels. Remember, bile is produced in the liver. So bile is synthesized in the liver. Remember, okay? And from the liver, you know, liver has right lobe, left lobe. Those are big lobes. There are also small lobes, you will see later. But right and left are two big lobes, okay? So from those lobes, hepatic duct, two hepatic ducts come out. Make sense? Right and left lobes. And they join together and form what? Common hepatic duct. Make sense? Common. Right? You know, your external internal area outer is joined to form common, right? Or veins joined to form common. So right and left hepatic means liver, coming out from the liver, ducts joined to form what? Common hepatic duct. And then you see here, bile enters into right and left, hepatic and then common hepatic, because liver produces bile. So that bile, most of the bile from common will go this way to the gallbladder. Okay? So bile will enter into what? The gallbladder. Make sense? And gallbladder does what? Why bile goes to gallbladder? Because in gallbladder, bile is heavily concentrated. That means what happens, you see, after the bile enters into the gallbladder, a lot of water is absorbed by the wall of gallbladder. Okay? So water is taken out from the bile. Make sense? So the bile will be what? Heavily concentrated. You take the water out, right? So gallbladder does it. Takes the water, absorbs the water from the bile. Okay? So makes the bile highly concentrated. Is it clear? Number one. And number two, stores the bile. So we'll keep it there. Two functions, right? Okay. Now, when your duodenum gets a lot of fat-rich food, bile does what? Breaks the fat, right? I mentioned that fat metabolism and is helped by bile, right? The digestion and metabolism. Okay, so when you eat fat-rich food, that food enters into the duodenum. That will send signal to the gallbladder. Make sense? That I got fat food, okay, fat-rich food. So I need bile to digest it, right? So that signal will go to the gallbladder, and gallbladder will contract to eject the bile. Make sense? So contraction of gallbladder will do what? Ejects the bile. So bile will, concentrated bile, will get out and will enter into the duodenum. Make sense? So if you don't have fat-rich food, in the food you don't have fat, then bile secretion should not occur. Make sense? So your body will do everything when it needs. That is the bottom line, right? So if you have fat that needed to be digested, then gallbladder will contract, right, to eject the bile. So bile will digest the fat. So here you see now the duct that is attached to the gallbladder, that is called the cystic duct. So now you see, this is the cystic duct, this is the common hepatic duct. They join together here to form this long duct that is called the bile duct. So right and left, this is right and left hepatic ducts, hepatic means liver, join together to form the common bile duct, then cystic duct and common bile duct join, right, to form the bile duct. Also called common bile duct, same thing. It goes all the way to measure hepatopancreatic ampulla and join with the main pancreatic duct. So that's the passage of bile, passage of bile or the pathway of bile. In the mucosa of the small intestine, if you see the mucosa of small intestine, there is no rugae. Rugae are in the stomach, right? But in the wall of the small intestine, you have, instead of rugae, you have circular folds like this of mucosa, circular folds of mucosa. And these folds are called plica circularis. Plica circularis. Okay. So this is inside this is the small intestine, okay. In the mucosa of the small intestine, you have circular folds like this. Okay. Difficult to draw, okay. So this is plica circularis, and now in plica circularis you have many finger-like structures like this. These finger-like structures are called villi, intestinal villi. So first plica circularis, and on plica circularis you have finger-like structures. Those are called what? Villi, like this. And on villi, on the apical end or upper end of villi, you have hair-like structures. These are called microvilli. So these are microvilli. So you have plica circularis, circular folds, and inside the plica circularis you have many finger-like structures like this. Those are called villi, okay? And on the top of the villi you have hair. Those are called microvilli. Is it clear? Okay. Now the food stuff, nutrients are here inside the intestine, right? Nutrients are here. So the plica circularis, those are the folds, and villi on those folds, and microvilli all together do what? It does what? All together increases the surface area many folds. Make sense? Like, folds like this. If you make it straight, make them straight, then you have villi. If you make all those villi straight, right, flat, that will give a huge area. So that means what? the food stuff is spread on a big surface like a floor. Okay, so that will help in absorption, quick absorption. Makes sense? If you spread, if you put a lot of water in a small container, right, then the water will not get touched to the wall of the container. Makes sense? Now, if you put in a big container, right, same amount of water will touch the wall easily, right? Makes sense? So it's like, you are by those folds of villi, macrovilli, the surface area is being extended a lot, right? So the food molecules can easily get touched to the wall and be absorbed, taken into the blood. Okay, helping in surface absorption. Absorptive surface is increased. So here, you see this is inside the small intestine. So these are the circular folds like this. Okay, and you see these are the villi. Now they did not show microvilli, but you see all of these are villi. Okay, and here, if you see a villi under just a small part of villi, this is a villi, finger-like structure. Under the microscope, you will see microvilli. Okay. Now, another thing is important here. Inside each villus, you have blood capillaries and lymphatic capillary. Do you remember lymphatic capillary? Do you remember lymphatic system? Lymphatic capillary, you answered the difference between lymphatic and blood capillary, right? So lymphatic capillaries are not anastomosis, right? No anastomosis, dead-ended, blind-ended, right? No anastomosis, no network. So you see, this is the green one, is the lymphatic capillary. Make sense? No anastomosis. And blood capillary is also there. So these capillaries are there to help the absorption because nutrients enter into the blood. Why lymphatic capillary is there? Lymphatic capillary absorbs fat. Remember, lymphatic capillary there helps the fat absorption. So if I draw here just one villus, inside that you have both blood capillaries as anastomosis, okay, blood capillary, as well as lymphatic capillary. This is the lymphatic capillary, no anastomosis. And you have nutrients here. Okay. So, nutrients are proteins, carbohydrates, fats, mostly. So, you have proteins, carbohydrate, fats. Those nutrients are there. Okay. Now, remember one thing, that fat molecules are bigger, larger than the proteins and carbohydrates. So these are fat molecules, okay? And others are proteins and carbohydrates. Now in the wall of blood capillary, you have tiny holes, but those holes are small in size. So the fat molecules cannot easily enter into the blood capillary. Make sense? So in the blood capillary, you have tiny holes, right? But fat molecules are big, right? So proteins and carbohydrates molecules can easily enter into blood capillary because they are small, can easily enter into the blood, but fat molecules cannot easily enter into the blood. But in the wall of the lymphatic capillary, you have larger holes. So the fat molecules enter into the lymphatic capillary. Makes sense, right? So fat molecules enter into the lymphatic capillary. And proteins, carbohydrates, they are small, so they can enter into what? The blood capillary, right? So that's how the absorption of nutrients take place. And that's why you have lymphatic capillary there too. and this lymphatic capillary is called lacteal. Lymphatic capillary in the villi of the small intestine is called lacteal. They help in what? Absorption of fat. Okay. Now you can ask me that nutrients should not enter into the lymphatic system, should enter into the blood circulation, right? But actually it is same, because all of you remember the thoracic duct and right lymphatic duct, right? Collect the lymph and drain, give the lymph into the blood, right? Subclavian artery, vein, right? So basically, from the lymph, the fat is entering into the blood. Make sense? So going through the lymphatic system, but entering into the blood continuously, right? So that's not a big problem. Make sense? So that's how the nutrients are absorbed. Some mucosa. Under the mucosa, you have some mucosa, you all know that. In some mucosa of the small intestine, you have Peyer's patches. Have you heard this name? Okay. Aggregated lymphoid follicles, right? Aggregated lymphoid follicles present in the distal part of the intestine. Those are called Peyer's patches. And a type of gland is present in the wall, or mostly in the duodenal wall, and that is called Brunner's gland. Brunner's gland. And mostly they are present in the duodenum, first part of intestine. And the secretion is alkaline mucus, not acidic mucus. In stomach, you must remember acidic mucus, right? Is secreted, but here in the small intestine, alkaline mucus. So now you tell me, inside the stomach is acidic, right? Content is acidic. But when it enters into the intestine, inside is alkaline, right? So that will neutralize the acidic content, right? So, which is important. Okay. So, acidic content will be neutralized by the alkaline secretion in the intestine. Okay, so now we will talk about the liver. Liver is considered as a gland because some hormones are produced and secreted by the liver. And this is the largest organ of the body. Largest organ. 4 lobes are present in the liver. Right lobe is the largest lobe. Left lobe is the second larger one. So those two are big lobes, right and left. And right is bigger than left. Is it clear? Okay. That's why, we say liver is in the right side, because the big right lobe is here. Okay. Left lobe goes to the left side too. But most bulk is here, right? In the right side. Right lobe is much bigger than the left. So those are 2 big lobes. But there are 2 more lobes. Those are smaller, called caudate and quadrate. Quadrate means what? 4, right? So, caudate and quadrate lobes. Let's see. This is the front and superior surface of the liver. So, liver is like this in your body. If you look on the front, this is the right lobe, this is the left lobe. They are separated by a ligament that is called the falciform ligament. So falciform ligament is the area where right and left lobes are separated. Now, they have dissected the falciform ligament here. That ligament, falciform ligament, which is attached to the liver, goes like this, gets out like this, and get attached to the body wall, and that part that comes out from the liver, that is called ligamentum teres. It's not written here, shown here because they have dissected. So the part is attached to the liver, that is the falciform ligament. But the part that gets out from the liver or falciform ligament, that is called ligamentum teres. Okay? And the part that wraps down, goes downwards, that is the round ligament. So actually, sorry, round ligament is another name of ligamentum teres. You see what happens here. It comes out like this as well as downwards. So like this. It's a continuous one. That just know that the part that leaves the liver, that is the ligamentum teres or round ligament. Same thing. Okay. And the part is attached to the liver in between the right and left lobe, that is the falciform. Okay. Now, if you see the inferior and back of the liver, this is the inferior and back. You can see other two lobes here. So now this is the right lobe, this is the left lobe, and these are other two lobes, this one and this one. This one, if you look carefully, is rectangular. That's why it is called quadrate lobe. Make sense? 4 angles, quadrate. And
can I ask a question?
yes.
Okay, so on the other side,
Yeah.
the one that goes down, does that attach to the wall? Is that called the falciform? And then the part that hangs down is the other one?
Hang down
Okay.
as well as it goes
So
out this way. too.
attached to the wall, that's also?
That's the falciform,
Okay.
right?
And then the part that hangs down is the other one?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Ligament, round ligament or ligamentum teres. Not only it goes down, it also goes like this because they have dissected here.
Right. But I mean the part that like attaches to the wall.
Yeah, that is the falciform.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh no, that is attached to the body wall, not the wall of the liver. Okay, body wall, that is the ligamentum teres or round ligament.
Okay.
Make
All right,
sense?
yes.
Yeah. Only the part attached to the liver, that is the falciform ligament. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Here you see the quadrate is rectangular, right? And another way to know which one is quadrate is it is next to the gallbladder, just next to the gallbladder. This is the gallbladder, okay?
Yeah, why is it pink?
The color.
Weird.
This is the chordae. How you can identify if you are confused? Here you have inferior vena cava. Remember inferior vena cava? That's that big vein, the largest vein. Fits here. There is a groove here, big, depression here like this. So inferior vena cava is attached here. So if you see that groove here, or if you see the inferior vena cava, next to it is the caudate lobe. Okay? So those are other lobes. Now, this area, you see, so this area, the hepatic ducts, you remember right, left hepatic ducts, right, come out. So the hepatic ducts come out to this area, hepatic portal vein, okay, enters through this area, hepatic artery, hepatic vein enter through this area, okay. So all those structures that come out or enter into the liver through this area, make sense? So that area is like the hilum of the lung. You remember lung has hilum, the main bronchi and other blood vessels, right? In and out, that is the hilum. So this is similar structure in the liver. And this area is called Porta Hepatis. Porta here. Porta Hepatis. This area. So see the structures. So the hepatic ducts, hepatic vein, hepatic artery, and portal vein. Make sense? So those are the structures there. Porta Hepatis. Okay, so 4 lobes, and you know the gallbladder and inferior vena cava are attached to the liver, right? And Porta Hepatis is that area through which those structures pass. Okay, we have talked about the passage of bile, right? How the bile, goes to gallbladder and comes out and enter into the duodenum. We have already talked about it. Liver tissue. If you see the liver tissue under the microscope, you will see many hexagonal. Hexa means what? 6. Penta means 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So hexagonal